I am losing daylight and there is no time for an intro, so we're just going to dive right into this one. 97, 98 Honda Acti, JDM import. Doors off, all four doors off, trunk off, interior stripped down, and then we're going to start making our measurements, and we are going to section this van and take probably 6 inches right out of the middle of this van and glue her back together. In the pursuit of a good section, there's a lot you have to take into account. Number one, how low do you realistically want the sill of your window to be? Right now I probably have about to this upper body line. This is where the top of my thigh is when I'm sitting in the seat inside. So if I drop down to here or lower, you are going to see my leg in that window. Other thing to understand with this section is your lighting systems. Now on this van, we have a really big headlight. We obviously are not going to retain this headlight, but we would like some kind of flat surface to mount and custom make a pocket for a new headlight. So I'm going to come at the body line and I'm going to bring it down. This is a 2-inch tape. I'm going to come at that body line, go all the way around, and I'm going to mark out a 2-inch line the whole way around top and bottom body lines, and we're going to take that section out of the middle. I'm going to mark the doors now while it's all intact. That way I don't have to guess at measurements later. I know when it comes time to section the doors, I know how much I'm taking to match the section on the body, and then we can move on from there. All right, we went around with a straight edge. We cleaned up all the lines. The blue is our permanent cut at this point. We need to make sure that this is going to fly. Again, can't lower the seat any because of the wheel well, unless we want to do a center section seat, which we're not doing on this one. All right, bean is 6 foot even. Hop in there. Yeah, you got so much room above your head, dude. This ain't a problem. Are you sitting pretty comfortable, like ready to drive?
Yeah.
All right. So we're taking, it's more than we thought. We're taking 7 inches out of the door.
Oh shit.
So if we pull the, yeah.
Almost a foot.
All right, so we pull 7 inches out. I think we're gonna be just fine. Where's your dome at? It's so high. So I've got 9 inches to spare to the roof line.
Stay at 7 inches.
So I take 7 out of there. I might want to take less because that's only leaving a 2-inch chop on the windows.
Yeah.
I'd probably want to split that up. Do a 4.
3.
What did I say you have over your head?
9.
Comfortably?
9.
Actually, it's way more than that. I'm on the curve and I'm at 10.5.
I was gonna say right in the middle then.
In the middle, you're probably over a foot. Still 10.5. All right, now we need the seat back to where you can still see out the window, because you got to remember the window's dropping too. You comfortable? Can you drive like that?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the opposite in the truck.
14 inches a foot safely for a 6 foot man. So if we're at 7 here, we can chop 7 here. That'll give us our 14.
Yep.
That's a lot.
That's a big.
That's a big fucking chop. You got it. Should be able. Clear, straight down. Alright, that's doors. Let's do trunk next. Just have you hold it up and I'll pull it. The front door's gonna be a bitch because wiring shouldn't be too terrible. Put all the screws in the baggie.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's probably gonna come off. Shit, you ain't lying. That's nuts.
Good lord.
How did you not break a single fucking clip? Alright, I'm with it.
Oh, no.
Did you get one?
I broke 1, 2.
Oh, see?
Shit. I broke 2.
liner should be clear. And if you want to just grab it and walk backwards. There you go. That we want to take care of because the cardboard's still good. I can recover everything. Okay. Snake that out.
I feel like these bands are probably something that the Japanese used to turn into like a base course.
Yeah. How is that door so heavy? I shit you not, that's heavier than like a Pontiac Grand Prix door. Close my screws. Feel free to grab it.
Jeez, why?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, it's got crash protection in it. I doubt it, but I bet you heavy. That's all you. Got it?
Yep.
Well, we still can't have a wrench back. Got it!
I was gonna say, what? Is it just one with the car?
Part of the van now. We'll cut it off later.
Shoulders a little wall.
Ready?
Yep.
Oh, that's up there.
At least this side's light.
Not my hand. Oh, hey, that roof needs to be painted. I'll get the building open, we'll get all these put away, clean it out. We're going for a ride. So we're all apart here. We're about to go for a ride, but we're looking at this now disassembled and realizing how crazy unsafe these vehicles are. So just from your foot to the outside of the vehicle, where are we at? 7 inches? That's crushing. From the outside of the seat to the outside of the vehicle is 4 inches. You have 4 inches between a side impact of any force and you. A front impact of any force is immediately transferring into your feet, which are then getting pinned in this little tiny box here and probably sheared off at the normal vehicle's height.
Hey, they cared about the passenger though.
The passenger got more? I've noticed that a lot.
You got an extra inch?
I'm not sure why it is, but I've noticed it on a ton of Japanese vehicles. Like my Alto, let's run over there. But on my Alto, you're not gonna be able to see it. But the driver's compartment actually has like 5 more inches this way if you look at the dead center of the car where the mirror is.
Yep.
The seat is actually pushed this way to give the driver more.
To the door.
It's a Japanese thing.
Huh.
I'm gonna need you to hold my camera. I probably need both hands for this. You're gonna get shit whipped with that hose back there blowing around.
Yeah, I see that.
Wires whipping around.
There goes some stairs. They all broke their neck.
Do it wrong. Remember, usually up. 1, 2, 3. We might be able to get something out of this. A blown differential, I'm assuming.
Probably.
Mostly one tire fire, but she did kick this one loose every now and again. All right, let's cut it up. Alright, I just went and pulled the glass myself. The glass people are busy for a couple of weeks, but looking like normally you have a ton of rot down here in these windshields. This one looks really good. That's just paint missing and a little bit of a brown. The rest of it looks really good. This was my concern area, and even that's looking really structural. Yeah, there's no rot here that I'm worried about. That's all still structural. It's just brown and dirty. Yeah, that's just paint coming off. Sweet. So we still structure all the way around the window edge. That's awesome. We're gonna lose a big chunk of this anyway. And as for the rear, this side's window was replaced. They did a bad job at gluing it because we got a lot of water that came in and got into this tower area back here. Luckily, again, it looks mostly surface, and I'm going to take a nice chunk out of that anyway. So I think I'll just, when we get to the point of chopping the roof, we'll aim to take our section out of the worst rotted area here. As for this side, it is absolutely gorgeous. All right, yeah. All right, there's our first cut done. I followed the original cut line like a laser around the van. You'll notice that the posts are cut higher. That's because you want to pick the front and the rear. Honestly, it doesn't even need to match. As long as you take the same amount out of the vehicle in all spots, you could take 9 inches from here and then 9 inches from here, and it's still going to match up when you put it back together. The front and the rear body lines absolutely needed to match. The pillar does not, because the pillar is a structural point inside the vehicle that you will not have a body line on. So we chopped it a little higher. Don't mind the blue marks. I was getting an idea. Chopping it higher gives us the best odds of sectioning out a straight piece of pillar where I don't have to do a bunch of sheet metal work like down on this hump or anything. I can just take this chunk out and mirror it back together, and I don't have to worry about any crazy curves, nothing too wild. I discovered something that I assumed, which makes this build a lot more extreme than it was originally going to be. You'll have to see in the next upcoming videos what we're talking about, but we are able to drop our roof significantly lower than originally planned, and I mean significantly lower. Right now, we're gonna do our cut. Originally, we had a 3-inch gap. This was our cut line. Now we're going to be cutting right on the seam the whole way around the van. And we are gonna take that whole chunk out. Originally, we planned on 5. We settled with 6. And now we're gonna take 9. So a 9-inch section is absolutely insane, because I'm gonna have to do the windows to match. This thing's gonna be very low. I found something good. We just gotta change up the plans a little bit and trim a lot more.
And now, a credit building journey told through the majesty of music. Here's what your credit sounds like before you secure Visa credit card. But with the GoToBank Secure Visa credit card, you can use your card for everyday purchases, and when you make on-time payments, your credit will start sounding like this. It's easy, with no credit check, no annual fee, and credit limits starting as low as $100. Building your credit is easier with a Go-To in your corner. Open a GoToBank account today. These terms and conditions apply. See details.
Back in the garage, new day, looking over the van, trying to get a game plan to start stitching this back together so we can move on to the next step. What a cool look. I'm very happy with the chop, or the section rather. We did a really good amount on the section. Just finished up one of my other projects. There will be a video coming on that, but it is 100% and I'm in love with it. That thing's sick. So, going around the van, we did really well with our cuts. This is our cut line. It is laser the whole way. I'm very, very happy with it. We got to adjust a few things on the inside, nothing major, but our cuts are very clean. So I'm happy there. I've got the rear sitting right where it needs to, where that line is clean the whole way. The front, however, is a little different. These pillars are pretty important as far as gap goes, and we've got a hell of a gap right here, and a very small gap over there. Now, I know my measurement's correct, so that only means that it's up front. And if we come up here, we can see our body line. This body line right here should be touching up here, so we have a gap there. And that is because of the metal farther in that we weren't able to cut super straight because of the saw we were using. So I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna clean this up, get this body to set down where it needs to be, and we'll start getting these pillars fabricated in today. Alright, that got our gap where I'm a lot more uniform the whole way around, and I'm happy with it. Go ahead and we're going to start stitching in these pillars. These are our main go-to. Let me get the paint off of these real quick. I went around the entire van and I made sure every corner was where I wanted it to be, everything's where I wanted it to be, so we could start welding this in. So I'm pretty happy with that. We'll throw a tack right in this corner. Now before I start welding, a lot of you guys are going to say I should have plated the inside of this, reinforced it, all that. Normally this is true. I have experience working and building limousines and cutting up vehicles to make huge custom monster trucks, you name it. Yes, you would normally want to plate this or somehow reinforce your welding joint. On this van, I'm going to tell you what nobody else is going to. This van is made of tin foil. and there ain't nothing you can do to it that's gonna make you any safer being inside of it. It's just a smidge above the safety of a motorcycle. Aside from running a complete roll cage in this thing, it is going to crumple no matter how many little sheet metal braces you put inside these pillars. So I'm perfectly fine for my own safety and structural stability, just welding this out. It'll be plenty. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this tacked in, and then I'll see if I can weld this seam up and ting it down. And then we're going to talk about how we go about fixing some of these gaps. Once molded, obviously everything isn't going to line up perfect. I took my cut where I could to try to get this pillar as close as possible. Our main line through that is legit. I'm happy with that. But there is still a gap here, which is going to match up to our door once we cut that. But the door modifications are a whole nother ball game. Your fit and finish is what takes forever. Any asshole can cut the roof off of something and glue it back together. It's how you finish the product that really says something. For a gap like this, it is always easier to take away material than it is to add it most of the time. It's always easier most of the time. 70% of the time it works all the time. So for this gap, we're just going to simply cut some slits down in this, push the metal in to line up, and then reattach it. This little guy right here is about 1 blade's length, so I'm actually just going to cut that in now. And you can decide how far down you want the cut to be. My seam line's right about here, so I think I'm going to take about 3 inches out of this. I'll get you a better view here in a second, but Paper thin. Alright, we got that first one where I'm pretty happy with it. How far do I want to drag that down? I'm actually going to drag it down to this seam line right here. It's a long cut, but I'd rather go down too far than not far enough and make it look out of proportion. Hours later, I went ahead and just blended this damn thing, everything except for the pocket, all the way around both sides. And then I went ahead and body lined the front here and welded the upper shell to the lower shell for about 1.5 inches. because that is a extremely important measurement right here. I'm gonna have to do a lot more cutting on this windshield frame, but I do not want this body line to move. So that is our safety. Did the same on this side, and this cost me a couple of hours because it was wrecked on this side. This was all body filler, this whole thing. There was no metal there at all. I had to rebuild all that out of new sheet metal. She is good to go. Get out here in the next couple days and get the back stitched up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, there is video 1 on our, where are we at? Our chopped, sectioned, and slammed custom K-Truck build, K-Truck build. And there's a lot of crazy coming. Bear with me, I'm working by myself at about an hour a night after work, so this is gonna take some time. But I'll have some filler content out for you before we get to video 2. Video 2, we're going to chop that roof once I get this thing fully welded where I'm happy with it. So stay tuned, video 2. We're going to chop that roof and we're going to see how low she can go. I love y'all. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. And stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, have a good one.